gotta leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Gandhi, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been golden when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her era lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reveals not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
board.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Freaking the more to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in shoes. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. Had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeChain, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain. GM. Thanks so much for joining us. I just knocked over my phone, thought I might have disconnected something, but I think we are good. I got to take a picture sometime of this setup because it's rather comical. Anyways, thanks for joining us. As always, give us a like, a repost, a bookmark on today's space. It's linked up top. You also find the carousel up there. Smash those reminders if you haven't done so already. And let's get this space warmed up. We got a special guest joining us at 9. Would love a full house. Steve will be joining us on stage here in a second. We're live on Steve's Abstract, as well as the YouTube streets. That's where the sharps hang out, and get the chat popping over there. Drop us a GM in the chat down below. Let us know what you're looking for today. I got a little bit of spice. I should have, I don't know, interesting morning. I'm like on tilt a little bit. I don't really know why. I had the conscious thought a few seconds ago. I should have just ripped a binger this morning, Steve, because I don't care. Like, I will speak my truth, but I might say some things that get you upset with me this morning. So, GM, sir, how you doing?
GM.
Hold on. As always, I'm Cap. You're my fine, much more proper and friendlier co-host, Steve. As always, never any financial advice in the show. Crypto is risky, NFTs are risky, meme coins exception risky to 0 moments. So please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. No, Steve and I hold tokens we talk about from time to time here in the show, including Ape and Pingu and many, many more. So we're not financial advisors, certainly not your financial advisors. Don't join us for that. Just join us for some fun, some information, a little bit of education, and maybe a rant or two. GM, sir, how you doing, Steve?
GM, doing well. Busy morning. We got a special guest, a sponsored interview coming up from some friends, although really cool product that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. So that'll be a fun one. as we go. We got the CyberKongs drop coming up. We have, I think, plenty of topics prior to 9 as well. Project Raid, I think, kicked off. I was pretty excited about that. I probably won't do the LP today, but maybe we'll show people how to LP tomorrow, just because I need to move some funds around and things. But maybe on the show, depending on, I'll play around with it today, the Meteora pool. But saw this morning that the our good folks are up on Meteora, and they're LPing over there, pinned it to the top. I'm going to be pretty excited about that one. So I've been LPing on Meteora for a little bit, so probably won't demonstrate it today just because I want to get on there, make sure I understand it. Because actually, it's funny. Meteora is a really good entry-level LPing to learn how to do it. But then once you learn how to LP, it's almost less user-friendly in the sense that the ranges that they set, they have these preset ranges for you, which makes it really easy for new people. But once you learn how to set ranges, it becomes a little more, little trickier. So going to work on that a little bit later today, but we'll be LPing some Ape over there, and then we'll show people how to do that on the show as well. Yeah, a lot to talk about this morning for sure. Definitely a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit of a crazy morning getting things going. But I don't know that I've ever seen you in green before, Cap. Nice color on you. You should wear it more
really?
often. Yeah.
No, thanks. It's nothing special. Just kind of like I don't even know the material. I recently threw out all my old underwear and swapped out for either 100% cotton, or there's a couple others like some bamboo stuff, but getting the polyester off my balls. And this was part of those upgraded gym gear / underwear purchases.
Nice. It's like one of those
Is your Lululemon underwear polyester?
What's that?
Are your Lululemon underwear polyester?
I have no idea why.
Check. It's bad for your balls.
I mean,
Not,
what am I
probably
gonna
done.
do?
Probably done making the kids at this point, I guess. But
yeah, I was gonna say, depending on what the that could be a feature, not a bug, depending on what the
unless you slip one past the goalie and it comes out with 3 arms or 2 heads.
Yeah, I'll check on my for people who don't know, getting real intimate this morning. My big recommendation to people is, look, when you drive a car, mechanics will tell you the importance of wheels, because there are only 4 things that touch the road for your car. Everything else is important, but the wheels are important. Well, think about underwear and socks, underwear in particular. Only one thing that touches the road. And I am a big proponent. Teacher Katie says Cap cleaning up for his new girlfriend. I am a big proponent of overpriced underwear. People think I'm crazy. Lululemon in particular is my go-to. It's incredibly comfortable. If you are a guy,
you got
people
you got to cut the poly and rayon from the tri-blends. It's not good for you. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I get it's more comfortable. Maybe it's just not good, especially young kids that are still in baby making mode. It's not good. It's not good for you. Scientifically proven now. Just like we shouldn't be eating all the coloring dye and all the junk in our cereal. But I'm going to leave that one for another day. I don't want to get an army of people mad at me this morning.
They did not like that Beanie was like, "This is poison. Why are people having this?" But I mean,
it's right. It's junk. And congratulations for collaborating with a brand that's poisoning children.
I mean, it's a good collab for them, just like McDonald's was. McDonald's is the same way, but it's
Also
like it's a mega brand. You know what I mean? No, I was gonna say, the one thing I am.
You actually want some real alpha this morning? I'll grab some real alpha. This is new. I'm being very genuine. I have new alpha. I need to step away so I can grab it, but it's on topic, and I get it doesn't make sense for a brand collaboration. Yeah, I'm not hating on. Yeah, I am hating on Fruit Loops.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke. My brother in Christ is literally a cigarette trait. You're hating on Fruit Loops.
Kids aren't allowed to smoke cigarettes. Is the difference? Give me 30 seconds to air cover, Steve.
No, you're good. I'll give my underwear rant. Look, I mean, I used to not rant it because it's sort of, for some reason, it's sort of like a faux pas to talk about such a thing, but not a fupa in this case, at least not yet on me. But it's sort of a faux pas to talk about it. It's I am big on the expensive Lululemon underwear, and everybody tells me I'm crazy, and then I tell people buy a 3-pack when it's on the we made too much on men's, like made too much thing, which they do when they do on sale. And then everybody who buys it goes ahead and buys more. Everybody I know who I've gotten on this trend of getting like the super comfortable underwear, because it's like the things, and maybe there's better stuff in the store now. Like I need to check at options because usually like other brands catch up eventually. But everything in the store at the time when I started going on this rant like 4 or 5 years ago was like stiff, uncomfortable cotton underpants. And these are
you're not gonna like
comfortable.
You're not going to like this, but it says common materials include soft wood-based modal, so that might be okay. Then quick drying and supportive nylon and lycra, which is elastine for stretch and shape, high performance, Luxtreme for activewear. Yeah, you're not supposed to wear this activewear on your balls. It's not healthy. It's part of our society's problem and probably why we're having less kids.
I doubt this is why we're having less kids. I could give you a reason. I think that there's many other reasons. I think our food, our drink come into play a little bit more, but
yeah, you're exactly right. People like millennials are still eating Fruit Loop cereal, and that's what's causing them to not have kids because it's poison.
I think we have society things that make us not have kids.
It's also a joke. This is a bit. I'm leaning into the. I really don't like care, but Real Alpha just found this. I thought at first it was like a. I don't even remember what bougie store I went to, Trader Joe's or one of like the bougie.
Is that the Kill-A-Bear? Is that the Kill-A-Bear cereal?
Not Kill-A-Bear cereal. It looks like it could have been. But I thought it was just like bougie organic, store type cereal. But actually then I just saw it again. I bought 2 boxes and I saw it again at Publix and bought another one. Dude, check this out. 3 grams of sugar. Check your cereal label. I guarantee you Fruit Loops has way more than 3 grams of sugar. It's the ingredients: chickpeas, tapioca, pea protein, organic cane sugar, cocoa, natural flavor, salt, and monk fruit extract. And it tastes good. They got it in chocolate. They got it in strawberry. Feed your kids this stuff, not Fruit Loops, unless there's a Doodles thing on it, and then just buy it and put it on yourself and never eat it.
I mean, good news for me is I just don't eat cereal. Like I'm not a breakfast guy, as you know. And I mean, look,
Solomon wins the chat though.
I mean, Solomon, like this is a joke, but it is such an antiquated take. I wear Lululemon everything. This right here, Lululemon. The underwear, Lululemon. The sweatpants are Lululemon. The socks, I think, might be Lululemon, although I don't generally buy Lululemon socks. I'm a Lululemon maxi as far as the clothes I wear. They are so comfortable, and I live at home.
Also, another joke, since I'm just leaning into things that are going to get me in trouble today. There's probably also another joke that it. Never mind. I can't even say this one out loud.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it. I get it. Probably a little bit of a flavor of the Caleb Williams article that came out.
Yes.
The sports fans will get that one. Which, by the way, that was a hilarious article. Although the fact that he sucks at football is not good.
Did you see his nail tech? The funniest tweet I saw was,
"Oh yeah, who was it?
God damn it, my quarterback has the same nail tech as Angel Reese."
Was it Angel Reese? Yeah, because they're both in Chicago or whatever. It was like Angel
Reese tweeted about it. She's like, "My nail tech did this. I'm so proud of her. She slayed," and like a Bears fan just losing his mind over it.
I mean, here's the thing. If you're gonna I am all for individualism and everybody doing the things that they want to do. If you're an NFL quarterback and you are going to walk a different path than the traditional, I'm a leader, like Josh Allen, like that sort of thing. Like if you're going to walk a different path, great. But you need to be good, because when you are good, it's very awesome. When you are not, like it's one of the things where it's like LeBron, as he's gotten older, like when LeBron's winning titles and doing a lot of things, his antics work. When things go sideways, he gets clowned for it, rightfully so. When JJ Watt was doing well, his little Captain America thing, it's like, look, he's a leader. When JJ Watt's losing, his little Captain America wearing varsity jackets, playing Remember the Name as he walks in, gets a little old. So it's just like, if you're going to walk a different path than a traditional one, it's totally cool. Be yourself, be different, whatever. But if you are an NFL quarterback and you are markedly standing out in a different way, well, then, you got to be really, really good. He's fast. He just isn't quite good at throwing the football, but which is an important thing for a quarterback, as I understand it. It's why Terrell Pryor switched to wide receiver. But Cap, let's we got a few things to hit on today. I know you want to get spicy over something, so I'll let you kind of have the floor for that. We got CyberCon's airdrop at 9, which I'm guessing we are not going to be able to get because I'm guessing it's going to require flying to another country, which I'm guessing we're not going to be able to do live during the show. Soul's cooking, Pump's cooking. We're having Runwago on the show later today, which is cool. It's like a move to earn thing on a sponsored interview deal that we're doing. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to talking about that. Got some great questions to ask them. What do you want to start on? Because I'm guessing you want to rant about the one ApeCoin copy pasta that was coming around. So if that is where you want to go, I will just give you the floor.
Yeah, and for everyone asking, polyester underwear is one of the leading causes of microplastics in your balls. That's what science has come out with and found that, yeah, you just shouldn't have plastic or polyester. It's fine to like wear a shirt that's on for a brief period of time, but to have something on that's hot, gets hot and is literally on your balls for presumably 24 hours a day. Or you
I just need to see the research on this, only because, like, and I mean this not in a I disagree with you way, but actually in a I want to see the research on this, because literally every shirt I wear is from Lululemon. All of my underpants are from Lululemon. All of my pants are from Lululemon, because they are peak comfort, and I sit around in my house all day, doing
very
work.
comfortable. Yeah, very.
So I want to make sure, like, if this stuff is bad, like if it is legitimately,
it's like eating sugar poison is also tastes good sometimes. It doesn't mean it's healthy for you.
Well, sure, but like the difference there being like, I just want to make sure, like, is it like the same idea? Because you put something in your body, direct effect there. In fact, I've been cleaning up my diet for like a week, and I feel different. I got past the low carb flu. But if it's like actually causing problems, the things that I'm putting on my body, I will change what I wear. Like that is one where it's like, if it's like going to cause cancer that I'm wearing Lululemon shirts and pants, or there's a high elevated risk, that is a very different ballgame. So I'm with Machiavelli, and then I need to figure out how I detox plastic for my sack, like as he said. So but Cap, let's hit on to Web3, because I know we got the guest coming up from at 9 a.m. We got a other page. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. The open page now, other page now, open page, op.xyz/claim. And I believe it is CWCOP is the code. So we'll let the real ones who are in early go ahead and get the claim on that one. We've been a little bit less promotional about it the past couple of days to let people who are collecting full sets really be the full settors. And then we'll promote it again next week for the last one, but we're letting everyone get in their lower mints this week. But yeah, let's get into it, Cap. What are go off, King?
I'm not going to change the title. Kind of a slower start this morning, so wait until I'm done to repost the show. We do want to warm it up a little more, but let me get this off my chest, and hopefully I won't get in trouble. I don't see anyone out in the audience yet that might send me a cease and desist. So I think I'm okay. I kid, this is a joke, but I am serious in my take here that there was a copy pasta going around yesterday, a narrative that's being supported by leadership employed by ApeChain that I don't know where it started. I've seen several, including Dutchy and Shippen, people I love, by the way. I told them this, that if you own one ape, you're in the club. And I could not.
One ApeCoin. Be clear, because if you own an ape, you're definitely in the club.
$sign ape. If you own one ApeCoin, you're in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I could not disagree more. Like, it's the most like I can love both and not believe they're the same thing, and they're not. And if they are, I'll probably sell my ape if that's where we're heading. And I said I was going to do a 10-year journey, and I'm committed to that. But I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. It's just it's the worst dilution we've ever seen of an NFT project, of a PFP NFT project, a community base, a club, the coolest club on the internet. So we're going from having the greatest club on the internet, one of the most exclusive clubs on the internet with no more than 20,000 memberships, to now there's like 1 billion memberships and it only costs 60 cents to get in. It's bad, man. I get it. I understand the point. I don't think those that are spreading this narrative understand the downstream effects. And not only is it damaging to the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the club, it's damaging to ApeChain, because you know what? It's upsetting some, not all, some are enjoying it. Fine, have fun. But some of the most loyal ardent supporters, like true OGs that have been through hell and high water. It's rubbing the wrong way. It's been building up. I've sensed it brewing. I've had a lot of people talk to me about it over the last 5 or 6 months that, man, it just seems like not like there's a pillar of Yuga has ApeChain, other side in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's ApeChain, other side, and then Bored Ape Yacht Club is just a part of both of those things. And maybe that's where we're heading. It's not what I thought it was, and that's not what we were told the club was. And I couldn't disagree more with the stance. I think I know it's just copy pasta and people are having fun in the time. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. I think it's a really potentially damaging narrative. And what they're not seeing, because not everyone speaks up like myself. People are leaving the club over this shit. People are leaving the club because why would I hold an ape to go to Ape Fest once a year for a day when I can get the same thing for 60 cents? Like, think about that. Imagine if the top country club in your town, where a lot of people joined not to play golf because it was the best networking in the city, and you had to pay, I don't know, a membership fee of $40,000 to join, and it got you access to all these cool people in this community and people you wanted to hang out with. And then the following year, they just made it a public course. What do you think in that analogy? What do you think would happen to the networking at that country club, Steve?
Well, this did happen actually with certain courses, so the analogy's there, but I actually would not even say that works in the sense that the ones that I know that are public private have some very clear tier differentiators and very clear different benefits for the public. For example, like my buddy has lower greens.
So expand on it then and say that they went from a prestigious country club with the best networking, the best community in the city, to now all of a sudden it's a public course, and if you pay a greens fee to come play 18 rounds of golf, you get the same access to the clubhouse and all the special perks and all the networking that everyone else gets.
That's what I was going to.
What would happen to those members? Do you think they would remain members of that country club, or do you think they go find a new country club?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So this actually happened in my town. So that's why I was going to say, like, your analogy is very apt and actually correct, where there's a really good country club locally. There's actually 2 that happened to this. And I will tell you exactly what happened. And this is what, like, I think your point is actually very salient. There are 2 country clubs that were private country clubs in my area that did this. One of them is now ended up folding and is now a park. Like, it is now a park. They got bought by the city to be a park, like a green space. So, like, literally went from like a country club in people you went to college with from a very affluent area, it's in their neighborhood, and it went public and ultimately ended up folding and selling the land to the city to become a public park. So that happened. That's one. Number 2,
people in that affluent area,
they joined a different country club.
Yeah, they don't they're affluent. They paid big dues to join this club because they didn't want to go to a public course and play golf. Most people that join the country club aren't there just for the golf. It's for the exclusivity of that club and the productive conversations that can take place when you put groups of like-minded individuals together, and they can have those conversations and they can build relationships and they can network. And when you open it up to everyone in the city, anyone can join, it devalues that. It dilutes it significantly. And feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, I'm even having to have this conversation. Like,
so there's another one it worked with, but I don't think this is the model that Bored Apes would want to go, where it did this. They have a clear delineation and there are clear membership benefits for being in versus using it as a public course. It's harder to get the greens fees, all those things. It's a really nice, well-maintained course. My buddy's a member there. But this one is in an area that is like in a very strange, I've told you about these places that are like half affluent and half a little bit different. Like the socioeconomic scope is a little bit more spread out. So it works for them because they have people who go and use it publicly and they have people who use it privately. But the people using it privately, like it's known that if you want to join a good private country club, this isn't the one. This is like the tier step up that someone like me would join, who I'm like, oh, I golf a little bit. And like, I'm not going to be able to afford, the amount of money it costs to join the really nice one. Like, so that's what you risk doing. And to your point, I would agree with you. I love the club. I love ApeChain. I love ApeCoin. I love all of the above. I love the fact that they're an integrated ecosystem. we have heard for a while from a good amount of people in the club, and we'll voice it. Like, people probably think that we're haters, even though we're probably the biggest homers that exist in this ecosystem.
Dude, if I was a hater, I wouldn't even be talking about this. Like, no one cares except for people in the club. Like, people who aren't in the club, they probably don't care about this. I'm again sharing because I'm caring. I'm giving real feedback, and I'm going to pass it along again. And it's probably going to make people upset. It'll be taken out of context. I don't have anything against Dutchy or anyone that was copy pasted in this. Have fun, do what you want. I'm just saying it's not the club I joined. And if this is what it's going to be, if that's what it becomes, then I'm going to find another club to be. I'm not going to leave. I love the apes. I love ApeChain. It's losing some of its magic as it gets diluted. It's just reality.
Yeah, it's what it is. And like, I agree with you. And I have heard, like, we tend to, like, something Cap and I tend to do.
This is also stuff that's been building for 6 months. It's not like this one statement. It's this one statement. This copy pasta is basically summarized in a copy pasta what a lot of OGs have been frustrated about over the last 6 to 12 months. They feel like we went from like first class citizens to like third or fourth rate citizens in the ecosystem.
I mean, like, it's a thing.
I don't think
like,
I feel like that. Pingu's doing just fine. I hold 6 figures worth of Pingu. I don't feel like I'm in the huddle, and that's fine. You know why? Because it makes me still want a little, because I want to join that community. We have people like Husser and Be Epic who continually show up every day, day in and day out, and support us. We had Glenn from Alchemy who just bought an ape and cited that one of the main reasons was because of us. Because, I actually got my hat out of storage today because I'm not a hater. I love the club. I also want to be part of the best club on the internet. And I don't think you can have the best club on the internet if it's open to everyone and anyone who's got 60 cents.
Yeah, it's a tough model. I understand they're navigating a tough space, but like, I think this is one of those things where you need to have those conversations with people in the club and kind of figure out what that looks like. Because to your point you're making, I look at someone like, some people that we know in the club, and like, we tend to be a lot of times the mouthpieces for what people in the club are feeling who don't want to speak up, or maybe who don't speak up, or maybe who don't have the platform or ability. And we have heard for some time now that there's people who say, every time I go to a meet at the clubhouse, it turns into an ApeCoin space or an ApeChain space. There's really no place for the club anymore. There's ApeFest once a year. Like, we've talked about this. And again, we're big proponents of the club. We love the club. We've talked about, we hear people saying like, oh, we see Spencer doing all these airdrop things. And we say, hey, like, sure, like, Bored Ape Yacht Club's got a tremendous network and great group of people. Go out and get the airdrops. It's not like Cap and Steve voicing simply Cap and Steve's opinions. A lot of times we're a mouthpiece. In fact, we've had a conversation with the ApeCo team where we gave 100% candid feedback when there were some things that people were like questioning about the club. And we said, look, we're maxis. We'll tell you the truth. Like, we love our apes. We love our community, but we're going to tell you what we're hearing on the streets because people are afraid to speak up. And like, when people were, when Banana Bill wasn't getting back to people and stuff, like, we spoke up for them. Right. And like, sometimes that leads to us getting some dings from people, but we're willing to do so. I think in a very similar situation, I saw this copy pasta yesterday. I didn't feel great about it. I think, with the people who are talking about it, I agree with them. It's again, for people who missed it, the copy pasta, because I know there's some people coming and joining in late. By the way, give us a like, retweet, comment in the room. We'll get this thing going. Cap will pull it up. But basically the copy pasta said, GM, if you hold ApeCoin, you're in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I don't make the rules. And a lot of people responded and kind of went in there. And I don't know if we want to, I mean, it's on the timeline, so you can see Dort's response on there. But like, I generally agree, like, no, you're not, and that's okay. Like, I love that ApeCoin gets you, like, imagine if I went to the Browns facility. Actually, Browns are a bad example. They're a bad football team. I might be able to do this. Imagine if I went to the Philadelphia Eagles facility, put on a jersey, and they're like, if you wear a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, you're on the team. And then I just went and suited up and ran a route for Jalen Hurts. I would die. But like, the point being, like, you can't just have the blur barrier to entry for things like this. And I think as you blur these lines, unless it is an intentional effort, I think it's a thing where it's like, you got to talk to some of the members of the club, because there's going to be,
I don't know the delineation between Bored Ape Yacht Club and ApeCo right now. I don't. I've asked for it. Like I loved it. Like I really enjoyed the board meeting updates that we had last year. I appreciated that we had 4 pillars, that we knew what the club was about and what they were working on. You didn't have to agree with them, but at least we knew. And I don't know the delineation. What I feel the delineation is, I feel like ApeCo's in charge, and Bored Ape Yacht Club is just one of the things that's part of ApeCo. And I know that's not the case. I'm saying that's becoming a prevailing sentiment around the club, is like, okay, what is the club? And I know what it was. I feel like it's getting lost. And now, all this to be said, I do appreciate the campaign that just kicked off yesterday, that you get a multiplier for holding a mutant and an ape and ApeCoin. Like that's good. That's a start. But it's not just about free internet money for me, anyways. Like, the club was special. Like, I was at Ape Fest 1, I was at Ape Fest 2, I was at Ape Fest 3. It was magical, man. People were lined up around the block because they wanted to be there. They wanted to be part of something that was exclusive. And people got big mad when people dropped secondary collections and open editions because they felt it diluted their community. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to be not only okay with that, promoting that 1 60-cent token is the same as a $40,000 asset. Get out of here.
Well,
what world does that make sense? I get it as an onboarding mechanism. It's an entryway. It's a path. It's access to the ecosystem, but it's certainly not the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Well, this is actually hits on a rant that I was going to go on at some point. I'm probably going to quote tweet, never rant on this. Our buddy Andrew Forte, or Fort, I always forget how he pronounces his last name. Love the dude. Love you, Andrew, if you're out there listening. He had this thing where he put like, hot take, long-term marketing plans are bad in Web3 or something, and had this take about, which, by the way, was like, again, not knocking Andrew, but like, anybody who's worked in marketing knows you have short, medium, and long-term plans altogether, and you should. And the long-term plans are flexible. The medium-term plans are a little less flexible. And then the short-term plans are you sprint when you sprint. This is my thing about the space, is that I feel like there is not, very few, if any, have done brand work. Like, what is your brand? Who are you? What do you represent? Value prop work. What is the value prop of your brand, and what is it? What is your brand? What is your brand identity? What is your, like, there are pillars that everybody should have in place. If you are creating a company, you should have certain pillars in place about who you are not, and then everybody can be on the same page. Getting the 100 from Zane, who that means a lot, because I know Zane is sort of in the same same mindset as me. This is one of those things where it's like, you should say, this is what Bored Ape Yacht Club is. We are the playful challenger. We are the this. We are the rebels. We are the blank, blank, blank. And every tweet, everything, every copy, everything ladders back to these things. This is what this is what ApeCoin is. It is the blank, blank, blank. This is what, and all of these things are what you want. You want them to have a cohesive brand, but you want them to be separate, connected brands, right? Like, under Progressive, like Progressive Commercial Auto is a different brand than Progressive Special Lines, which is looking at, boats and RVs and things like that, is different than Progressive Auto Insurance. Like, but they all have the same ethos. So you want a master brand and you want an underarching brand. When you build these sort of pillars, and this is the thing that I was going to say to Andrew on his thing, is like, when you build these pillars, what you end up having is long, short, and medium-term marketing plans you can build against it. And messaging like this may not come out. Where if exclusivity is one of your key pillars of the club, you want to be a premium asset, well, then you would say, does this align with that? No, well, then that doesn't make it past the goal line. And so I just think, like, part of what these companies could benefit from, not just apes, but everybody in general, is that there's a total lack of, and again, for people who don't know, if you're newish, because I know I used to do this all the time, I don't do this rant as much. I led multiple marketing disciplines at Fortune 500 and multinational companies. Like, I led internal communications when we sent 40,000 people home for COVID. I led proactive public relations at Progressive. I started the recruitment marketing department, which is omnichannel marketing. I led public relations for Nestle USA in the frozen food and innovation brand. So DiGiorno, Hot Pockets, Lean Cuisine, Stofers, like, as well as like innovation brands and things coming up. So I've helped actually identify brand work for major properties there, and work on brand voice and brand identity, to the point where, like, we have like celebrities and different territories and things like that. I feel like we need, I feel like we just need, like, that thing to be happening in this space. And I saw Andrew's tweet, and it was like, And again, not just knocking on him specifically. I could pull up the tweet, but it's long and I don't want to read the whole thing. But he talked about how like short-term marketing is all that's important and you don't need long-term marketing. It's like, this is why we end up with major brands in the space thinking marketing is having people on your team just tweet, "Don't fade our product," and variations of that, or like, "You are not going to believe what comes next."
I'm so done with it, man. I'm like, every time I see a post that is a founder or a leader patting themselves on the back and just saying how great they are for something they did a year or two ago, it makes me puke in my mouth. Like I probably should just start muting these people, because it's a lot of the same people just over and over again. It's like, it's not marketing, and no one cares what you did last year. What have you done for us lately? I don't mean to sound like I'm not acting entitled. That's just reality. Like, no one cares what you did 3 years ago. No one.
Yeah, it's
that goes for a lot across the space. A lot of the quote unquote marketers or CT leads. It's, tell us something, share something. We want to be involved. What happened to building in public?
Yeah, it's just, I think like that's the part that drives me nuts. It's like, I just get very exhausted by like that. And it's like, why? I'm not knocking marketing departments or telling anybody who isn't working hard. I know people are working hard. It's just, there is in my mind a lack of solid marketing. I don't know, a lack of solid marketing knowledge in the space, which I know it's a different marketing world, but like, it's sort of like the same way we talk about things. Like, we throw out the baby with the bathwater, which, you know, my annual reminder, don't look up what throwing out the baby with bathwater means. It's gross.
I mean, I may as well do it if I'm going to do it, because my tabs this morning are pretty wild.
Back in the day, everybody used to bathe, and the baby would go last, and the bathwater was so dirty from everybody bathing in the same tub that sometimes people would throw out the baby with the bathwater because it was so murky, and the baby was like, it became submerged, and they forgot. It's disgusting. It's like cat out of the bag's another great one if you want to look at it. Where,
well, with my my litany of tabs open this morning, one of which is the toxic reality of polyester underwear.
Cat out of the bag is another one. I believe that one is they used to serve pigs and meat and other things, and they would actually bag them and put them on people's doorsteps, and people would replace them with cat meat in order to save money, and so that was letting the cat out of the bag. The shotgun's much nicer. It was just a matter of, if you were riding in a wagon across the country and somebody pulled up next to you, the person sitting in the second seat had a shotgun so that you didn't get robbed. In any case, putting the train back on the tracks. Long story short, one, agree with you. I think the copy pasta, I get it. It's fun. It's the idea is like, you know, hey, you're a, like the way that we said, you know, mutants are in the club. We love you, yada, yada, yada. But apes always had a higher tier. Great. But
that's true.
It's true. But like, there was an understanding that like when the ape coin drop happened, apes got 5x as much allocation type thing, right? Like,
with clear tier, right? Clear delineated benefits. You know, the original homepage copy, welcome to the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the club that I joined and fell in love with, is the Bored Ape Yacht Club was a collection of 10,000 unique Bored Apes, unique digital collectibles living on the Ethereum blockchain. Your Bored Ape doubles as your Yacht Club membership card and grants access to members-only benefits. The first is which is access to the bathroom, a collaborative graffiti board.
Yeah. So
that's it. I'm not asking for a ton. Just don't CCO a community that was 10 and became 20,000 members. We don't need more than 20,000. Only limited it to 20,000 is part of the magic. And again, I love ApeChain. I'm a huge fan of the ecosystem, but they're different. They're not the same thing. Hard stop. Get that out of here.
By the way, if you're listening, friends over at Bored Ape Yacht Club, happy to help. If you need it, we're always here. That's part of the beauty of the community.
Very clear. It was extremely clear at the onset. It was actually extremely clear after Mutants. And I know things change. I think this is a very slippery slope and a dangerous path to go down. And it's why I'm being vocal about it this morning, because if that does become the thing and there's no delineation and you can get the same utility perks and access to to membership to this greatest club on the internet for 60 cents, it's no longer going to become the greatest club on the internet. Things don't work that way. It's dilutive.
Yeah, I will also, I mean, look, I agree with you, Cap, like hard agree. And so TLDR, one ape coin is not the same as being in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Get it's a fun copy pasta, but two, be careful how you do those and communicate those things, because it does upset certain people. And
especially when it's people on the payroll for ApeChain. Like,
it feels like an official statement.
Yeah, it is. It feels like an official statement. I think, like, I've seen several people say it, like, someone needs a leader. Like, Gary should come out and say, no, like we're having fun. It's just copy pasta. One ape coin doesn't get you access to the club. It's you're part of the ecosystem, but you're not part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club until you go buy an ape, go buy a mutant. Like, you got a great top of funnel onboarding mechanism that is ApeChain, that is Other Side, that is Ape Coin. Use that as an onboarding funnel, not as something that can dilute and erode the value of the greatest club on the internet.
Amen. Preach, brother. But yeah, I think good topic there this morning. I know you're feeling it. And again, I don't think it's a crazy hot take. I do want to hit on the positive on that. So before we get to, I know our guest is coming on at 9 o'clock. Looking forward to that. So in about 20 minutes, give us a like, retweet, comment on the room as we get going. Slower start this morning for whatever reason. I wonder if we're getting nerfed in spaces and some other places that rhymed unintentionally. We're going to have Runwago on here in a little bit, and excited about this because Cap and I are both. I am making an active effort. Like, it's actually incredibly timely. They reached out. I am looking to get into. I've been getting my 10,000 plus steps regularly and getting back into running again as I've been trying to get myself healthy. Realizing I'm sitting around a lot.
Grateful Ape nails it in the chat. Says, I think if you have ApeCoin, wording should be, you're part of the family. That's probably the better part of the club. Like, part of the family, part of the ecosystem. All those are fine.
Let me build on that for a second? Sorry to jump on you there, but like, grateful. That's actually perfect, by the way. Yeah. That's literally exactly what branding and marketing does. Is like, you would come up
branding with matters. Words fucking matter, Steve. Believe it or not, words matter. And you, especially if you're employed by someone, words matter.
This is so funny. Yesterday, I got all fired up and hot under the collar about the OpenSea stuff, and Cap was completely calm. Like, I listened back, and Cap couldn't have been more calm with my OpenSea rant. Like, he's like, I mean, I don't care. I get it. And today, because I listened back while I was lifting, because I was like, was I an asshole? And I was like, no, it was actually kind of fair. Like,
she's passionate about OpenSea voyages.
Dude, I'm just passionate about, like, us being bratty in the space sometimes. But this morning, I agree with you. But, like, Cap's, like, dropping heat, and I'm the one who's calm this morning, and this is why it works. And by the way, it's so funny because we'll have these discussions sometimes we're both fired up, and people have no idea that, like, we don't do it as a bit. Like, we're legitimate, but we also know that it's sort of like in between the lines. Like, when you're in between the lines, you're in between the lines. Like, this is our arena that we're in, and we log off the show and we talk about what's next, what we're eating for breakfast, some sports, and we go on our way, and then we have a call later in the day and text each other. I do want to hit on Project Raid a little bit before we do that, because we have CyberKongs. By the way, speaking of OpenSea, I know they said API. I have a hard time believing, wink, wink, that OpenSea didn't do biz dev on this one. CyberKong's giving airdrop to people. So if you did, I think it was 20,000 or 10,000 in volume on OpenSea. You have eligible wallets for the CyberKong's airdrop.
I don't think volume. I think it's specifically buys.
Okay, buys. Got it. That makes me feel worse about myself that I'm eligible. But you are eligible there. Mine is going to be probably for the highest tier because I spend a lot of money on a liquid JPEG. It's why I still have to work instead of not. If I just put that money in Bitcoin, well, I would fuck off to the beach. But actually, I would still be here. I love this show. But CyberKong's airdrop coming, so keep an eye out for that. Be very careful with malicious links. I think it is first come, first serve, so we are going to miss it on the show. But just pay attention to that one. I want to talk a little bit of Project Raid from Project Raid from ApeCoin. Also, two things. As a side note on Project Raid, before we do that, I'm probably going to be doing some content, whether it's on the show or off or whatever, about some places I'm earning money. I found another one, Cap. I'm going to try to get you onto after the show. I am going to show ref links because I'm bad at that. There's a campaign, this turtle campaign. Again, don't go there. I'll give ref links to people later or show them how to do it tomorrow, where you can literally deposit into a Katana vault through them, connect an X and a Telegram, and for not a lot of money, you can be ranked towards their airdrop and earning towards the Katana airdrop. And if you tweet about it, you're earning the Katana campaigns, which I ranked for. There is a Katana campaign ranked for this month. They're going to, it seems, because I ranked for one this month in top 25. Turtle's going to have a campaign. So there are so many earn opportunities. And the cool part is this: InfoFi used to be, you had to be and it ties into Project Raid, which is why I'm getting there. I will land the plane on this. It used to be that you had to be a very prominent voice or bot or whatever to get campaigns. The Turtle campaign is going to be based on holdings and on-chain activity with a boost from InfoFi. The Project Raid campaign is going to be about talking, but is going to get a major boost for holding ApeCoin and BAYC. This one, which I'll talk about, and again, I'll show you the I'll show it to you on the show, and I'll show it to you on the show maybe tomorrow, or I'll kind of put out a video about it. But it's basically like you connect some things to this turtle campaign, you deposit into Katana, the layer 2 blockchain that we had on the show that was incubated by Polygon Labs that we really like, on their site, and you rank on their leaderboard for money deposited, and you get a boost for connecting Telegram, you get a boost for connecting X, and you get a boost for talking about it. But the fact that it's based on on-chain activity, if you just have cash out there, you can go earn 20% in their WETH vault, 50% in their USDC vault from Katana, while earning on. It's like there's so many opportunities to stack farms and stack airdrops. And I realized, and this is one of the reasons I was thinking about doing it, I was going to put out an article, but the article would be too long. I'm going to have to do multiple articles on the 15, 20 airdrops that I'm currently farming.
And a lot of them, to your point, it's not just, you can double, triple dip on a lot of these.
You can double, triple dip on them, and you can talk about it. Again, I've been ranting on Katana for a while. It is not a super crowded space. It is not a super crowded L2. We had him on the show. I really like the founder. I really like the direction they're going. Incubated by Polygon Labs. I believe investments from, don't quote me on this, A16Z, maybe not, but they have some investments from some other investors. I am a fan of the platform, period. It is the most user-friendly L2 as far as like DeFi goes that I've gone. Because if you're on Hyperliquid, which I am, if you're on Hyper EVM, incredibly complicated. I'm printing on LPs on Hyper EVM right now. I printed like $50 overnight on LPs on the pump hype pairs. Great thing. And again, if you're looking to get on there, hit me up. I have my ref link. I'm going to be better about shilling ref links because I realize I'm horrible at making money when it comes to stuff like this, and I need to shill ref links more often. So if you want to LP on Hyper EVM on Project X, let me know. Meteora, I'll show. There's no thing, but we'll show on the show at some point. But yeah, like when you Katana, which doesn't have a ref link, but Turtle does, so I'll show people that. You could literally go on Turtle, sign up, connect your stuff, and then just go in and deposit to the vault to Katana on their campaign right there, earn on Turtle, earn on Katana, and then talk about both, and you earn towards airdrops. It's like that simple. So I do want people to like find these less crowded ecosystems. There's some that are super popular. Like the only things I'm doing on Hyper EVM right now are connecting and Project X. The reason is I am not a whale. I don't have a ton of money to spend, and so I need to pick my spots based on where I think I have the opportunity to actually earn on these things. I think Katana is a less crowded trade, so I'll show that as we go. But the Project Raid one, look, I think people are sleeping on it. I think we had him on the show Monday. We'll pull some clips from that we'll be doing throughout the week. They have a leaderboard. Shout out Dort, #1 on the leaderboard right now. You talk about Ape, you talk about ApeCoin, you talk about Project Raid, and you rank, and they give a major boost to anybody who has a BAYC. Another boost, I may buy another mutant now. I've been mutantless for a while. I may buy a mutant. Another boost for having a mutant in the wallet, and a boost for having 500 Ape in your Solana wallet. Now, you can only get to connect those wallets once, so make sure when you connect your wallet, you paste the one that has the Ape in it, and you paste the one that has your 500 Ape coin in it. But, like, this is why, like, all the influencers saying InfoFi is dead, because it's eating their lunch and it's actually getting marketing budget that they used to get. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge for a lot of people. People are saying InfoFi are dead. It's just wrong. It's just people are doing it wrong, #1. It's not about spam, copy, pasta. I can tell you for a fact, I discovered the Polygon leaderboard because I was tweeting about Polygon organically, and suddenly I was ranked top 15. I was like, what is this? That's cool. And they're like, oh, yeah, there's actually rewards here. I was like, oh, okay. So, 1, people are doing it wrong, but 2, it's only going to get smarter. I had an entire 2,500, 3,000 word article a couple months ago that was about InfoFi and how it can improve. And they're basically implementing these things now. Like Wallchain has implemented this. Wallchain is saying, do you own the asset? Is your money where your mouth is? Do you own ApeCoin? Is your money where your mouth is? Are you actually talking about it? It's only going to get smarter. And Cap, I think this is the future of where these things are headed. And I am very excited and bullish on the future of InfoFi because I was curious about it. I was worried, curious if they're actually going to do this thing. I feel like we're headed in a very strong direction for InfoFi and when we see stuff like this.
Wholeheartedly agree, and I think I'm biased, but I think this is the best InfoFi campaign we've seen yet. They're taking what Spencer and the Burbs started and expanding on that. By the way, I wouldn't be mad that I fell 54 spots yesterday, opened at 15, then the update came. I added my addresses And with my speaking of ape and mutant, remind me to come back to the mutant. I've got another mild rant this morning, but you do, to your point, you get 2x multiplier for holding a ape, 1.7 for holding a mutant, 2x for holding 500 ape coin, and they do stack. So you can get up to 5.7x if you hold all three. So I have my mutant in a different address, and you could only load one, trying to move it over to the address with the ape. And long story short, I haven't given up, but I took a break after like an hour of trying to do this morning. First, I had issues getting it out of BinDAO. Finally got that done, and should have did it a while ago because it's like that pooled staking was done anyways. I just hadn't went through. I had issues with it, and come to find out is I had to use Ledger Live, sorted all that out. First time I've used Ledger Live in I don't know how many years. Anyways, I digress. If I had moved down 55 spots, I wouldn't be upset, but gonna have to get back on the post train today. GG's to Dort, and yeah, I do. I think this is the best campaign we've seen yet.
Also, look at that leaderboard. Dort, Zier.
It's correct. It's accurate.
You know, J-Bon, Josh Ong, Belfort, PP Man. Like, it's a good leaderboard. It's accurate. And like, that's what this is meant to be. And it's like, it is rewarding your ecosystem. I mean, I've said this about Wallchain for a long time. Once Wallchain turns rewards on, which they have, Wallchain's got a good algo, man. They like Rock Soul's on there. He should be on there. Sergito's on there. Makes sense. Has been bull posting for a while now. Like, this is what it's all about, man. Like, this is what this is what. Go ahead.
The only one I wasn't familiar with on that leaderboard, the only one that stood out was Stacy Serrano. Just give her a follow now. But the reason she popped is put out a video. This thing got numbers, 21,000 impressions, 203. So she saw the campaign, did a video, and it popped, right? Like, she put out, you know, not just copy pasta, but actual, you know, actual content, and you know, is moving up the leaderboard. Will she stay? I don't know, but sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just gave her a follow as well. I think that's like, and that's what this is about. And I think Wallchain does a really good job with it. So it's like, I don't know, there's so much opportunity. And like I said, like, I realize I'm going to look at my docs and count how many things off the top of my head without even, because I started thinking I'll do an article on some of this farming activity. You know, and it's not just farming. I actually do things that I enjoy, but like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have like 18 to 20 things where it's like, if each of those airdrops is $1,000, that's $20,000 just for doing some work. Now, it might not all be, it might not all work, but like, my point is, like, there is opportunity for everybody out there if you want to try and make it work. And at least for me personally, although I got to figure out my Wallchain on this one in particular, I think it just hasn't like reloaded all the way through yet, or I'm missing some sort of an API connection, because I am 373. So I think something on my account fell off. So I need to get my account fixed in some way now. Maybe I need to share my personal mindshare leaderboard as well, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I think like that's what you I think that's what you need to do, is you need to be paying attention to this stuff. And I think that InfoFi continues to improve, which I really appreciate. And then, I mean, again, Cap, I don't know, like, if you want to hit on Project Raid at all, I mean, like, like Project Raid in general, it's giving more access to more people for ApeCoin. That is a good thing. It is not an enclosed ecosystem. And I think the idea that we can say the hyper financialization of like ApeCoin, like, is what Garg is saying. It's like, they can now say, with the way things have moved, like, companies talk about boosting their stock price all the time, right? They talk about, like, I want to get our stock price up. We care about our shareholders. Our shareholders are important. Stock price is important. That we're doing buybacks. In crypto, it was like almost a faux pas, because it was like, ooh, can't talk about crypto going up. Can't talk about supporting your business there because of regulatory. With the green light, like, Monday, Simple Farmer and PP Man are like, we are financializing ApeCoin. We are moving it across chains. We are going to boost the price. We are going to add liquidity. We're going to add LPs. We're going to give more people access to this. And look, if you get boosted rewards in vaults and liquidity pools and things that potentially have opportunity for you, like, more people are going to have access to it. More people are going to be trading the asset. That's good for them. And hopefully that money can then ultimately go back to a place like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, because, you know, I think that sort of stuff is incredibly important. So, So yeah, man, look, again, I'm bullish on the way that people are doing the InfoFi. Yeah, something must not be updating in my API because somebody tagged me in like a top 24 hours for wall chain, and I'm like barely ranking anywhere. So I got to actually look at that and make sure my stuff is all connected properly, for sure. But yeah, man, I feel good about the direction of InfoFi. I feel good about Project Raid. I'm bullish and excited on directionally where this all heads. But Cap, I know we got a special guest coming up in about 5 minutes. You want to do a daily market update, and then on the other end we can hit on some stuff?
Yeah, and tying in with the daily market update before you play us in is very bullish news this morning on the PPI print. Actually down 0.1%. It was forecast at 0.3. The prior was 0.9. 3 rate cuts are coming, brother. Book it. It's happening.
So it would be September, November, December. Yeah, man, that would be.
Or we get two in September and another one in November or December. But yeah, I think 75 bips is happening between now and end of the year, and because that was the last thing holding back, right? Is like, oh well, inflation's still cooked. We can't get rate cuts yet, and with PPI coming down, higher, much higher.
I mean, this is the exciting part about double-sided liquidity pools, by the way, is that if everything pumps, like I need hype is hurting. I need hype to pump a little bit. With double-sided liquidity pools, it's like if they and by the way, hype's not actually hurting, it's just hurting in my liquidity pool against pump fund. If both assets go up in kind, you still end up about 50-50 and you just print on fees. So
other bullish news, especially for you who's been over there LPing on Meteora. Sounds like that TGE is coming in October.
I will not get a ton on that because I was late to that. I didn't even have season 1 points, but I don't even care. I'm enjoying LPing. By the way, also it's just a fun game that I like to play. So
and Drew said it only updates once every 24 hours on wall chain.
Yeah. So I may have a Meteor. I may have a meteoric rise up that leaderboard pretty soon here because I will be doing some stuff around then. And by the way, the great part about it is I talk about ApeChain and everything constantly. The show, the campaigns, the other thing. So this is only going to benefit the fact that I'm already talking about this the same way I was already talking about Polygon, the same way I was already talking about Katana. Katana, I had an InfoFi campaign till they came on the show and said so. And then I'm like, I'm not sure. And then yesterday it's like, hey, you're in the top. Where do you want to? What address do you want to send this to? I'm like, oh, cool. So let's do this. We'll do daily market update in about 3 minutes. We'll have Runwago on here, and we're going to talk a little bit about move to earn and sort of the idea of sort of this fitness trend that I think is a absolute no brainer. Really excited about it.
Last thought on this. I'm going to put out something on the timeline earlier because I know if not, some of what I said today will be taken out of context. So I just want my full unadulterated thoughts out there, and it's not derogatory at all. It's just I care about the club very much as I care about ApeChain and ApeCoin and ApeCo, and a lot of people reached out in the DMs. I'm not going to blow up any of your spots, but appreciate the kind words and shared sentiment. See, like I said, I knew for a fact I'm not the only one feeling this way, and it's more than I even realized, and I do think it needs to be said. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. It'd be easier for me not to say anything.
Yeah,
probably more profitable, probably more lucrative for me to not say anything. But I'm not here for a quick buck.
I think you'll get a lot of support on that one. That said, let's go ahead and run daily market update. On the other end of that, we can bring up our special guest here, our sponsored interview, to talk to Runwago a little bit, and SportFi. And look, what I'm excited to. Cap and I talk about it. We don't just bring on anybody on the show when we have opportunities like this. We both are movers. So I'll play daily market update. You can do that, and then we'll bring up our guest.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on ApeChain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, fence alpha, never miss a beat. ApeChain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, figures now what's next. Come on, my head top, but you want the time to chop off for one time.
It's time for the daily market update. Powered by ApeCoin, the home of NFTs. ApeChain has it all, bringing fun, culture, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. The home of Project Raid, which we are very excited about. Man, I'm excited to show people how to LP. I might be able to educate some people in our ecosystem about LPing finally on this thing. So, Cap, hand it to you for the update.
Yes, sir. We're going to start with the majors here, and then we'll wrap with NFTs today. Looking at Bitcoin's up 1% to 113.277, ETH 43.73. That's flat. XRP down 1%, but still holding $3. Solana up to 223.66, up 3% of the day. Might be Solana season, Steve. Not saying it's correlated, but also not saying it's not with ApeCoin moving to Solana yesterday. I also saw they hit their all-time high in terms of TVL in DeFi. So GG's there. Doge down 2%, Cardano flat. Runes are runes. Pump Fund, the big winner on the day, up 19%, absolutely ripping back up above the IPO price or ICO price rather, and continues to cook. Pingu flat on the day. Meme Core down 1%, Pepe down 2%, Sheeb flat, and Doge we said down a couple percent. Heading up to our favorites here, we've got Codas popping on the volume chart, albeit down slightly on the day to 0.87. Doodles flat at 0.79, not getting that Fruit Loop pump. That's for another day, though. V1 CryptoPunks flat 3.39. CanPie Pandas, haven't heard that name in a minute. Quite a bit of volume, 100 sales there. Actually, sent it down 7% on the day. Apes down 2% on the day because a lot of people heard. I'm kidding. It's a joke. You don't need an ape if it only costs 60 cents to join the club. I kid. It's a joke. Please don't take it out of context. Moonbird's down 0.7% on the day, 2.92. It's looking like avatars in other side tomorrow for all those burbs. Creeps, a big sweep there. Not sure what's driving it, but up 17% nonetheless on 56 sales. 0.82 ETH is the floor. Big Pudgies down 1% to 10.38. Little's down 3% to 1.23. And Shrimpers, Steve, a new collection. I completely missed the mint. Looks like it might have mint. I don't know where it minted, but it's up on the day, 0.267. Did you see this, Shrimpers? Or
no, I did see this. I avoided it because it was a 0.2 mint, but the people who minted it for free, and then it minted for 0.2. So the one I was not eligible for, I'm not sure how you get eligible for it. It was a free mint, but the 0.2 mint was not. So I just did not play around with that. I just kind of stayed clear because I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and stay clear because if I could see people minting for free. And then I thought what was going to happen, incorrectly so, this shows we're in a bull market. I thought it was going to mint for free and, eventually like the people, like it will go for 0.2, but the people would then sell it like 0.17, 0.15, and basically like tank it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Other thing on news updates here, and I'll let you take it to intro our guest, but it is noteworthy. I'm not I don't have anything against Jack Butcher. I'm just not necessarily a fan. Something about dilutive art, dilutive collections, and just too much out there.
Again, but it's a gas war, Cap.
That's what he won me over. Like, because he's calling it gas wars, I will attempt to mint this thing because not only is it being called gas wars, I think we're going to get an actual gas war tugging on all my heartstrings. This will be the penultimate, next to last Art Blocks collection to mint in their 500 collections. You can see it on the screen if you're looking in. It's called Gas Wars, 499 fixed price simulations, open for 500 seconds. Gas Wars. Like, Jack's won me over with this one. 500 survival simulations, $1 per bullet, starting with simulation 0. So, in my understanding, $1 per bullet, but I think it goes up from like $1, then $2, and $3, and the last one would be $500. I think. Not exactly sure how it's going to play out, but first Art Blocks, I've been on my minting for a long time. So, this one I want. I just want to feel something. I just want to win a gas war. If it cooks, I'll probably flip the thing, just being transparent. But I don't know if I hold. I hold some Jack Butcher open editions, but I don't hold anything noteworthy of Jack's.
Yeah. By the way, as a side note, looks like the CyberKong's claim is live. Make sure you check official links. We shared one in the DJ Network Forum. If you're there, if you're not, do your thing. But it appears that the eligible wallets are not showing as eligible. Also, as a unrelated note, if you're in the War Room, Joey Val is a regular on the show. Love Joey Val's. he did make a point about correcting spelling and grammar and things. And so I saw Payne light him up. I saw some other people yesterday. Every typo for the history of Joey. I made typos part of my personality. Poor Joey is going to get lit up every single time in the worm he spells something wrong. But that said, 904, excited to welcome on our special guest for our sponsored interview. We have Runwago on. And look, TGE coming in September 18th. So you're going to want to get in on that. It is, this concept of SportFi, I think, is really interesting. It's something Cap and I have actually talked about. I actually talked about SportFi years ago as being a major opportunity. That sort of idea of the idea that you could actually participate in this, some connected devices, a lot of work, nothing low effort about it. GM, want to welcome on who is behind the account, if we can ask, and if not, we can just go straight into it.
Hey, hello guys. Thank you for the introduction. Actually, before we start, I would like to say hello, everybody. And just could you please let me know and clarify if the microphone is all right?
Sounds great, actually. No, sounds nice and clear. You're all set.
What should we refer to you as? Or do you just do you have a name, an alt, an anon personality, or run?
No worries. I would just start. No worries. So before I start, let me to introduce myself. My name is Martin. I'm co-founder of Moon5 Labs and also a labs behind the Runwago project. Maybe just starting with the introduction to just give you a small insight as well. So again, good morning, everybody. I'm currently in Europe, so we have almost the evening. We are a company being incorporated in Czech Republic, in the European Union. And basically, yes, we are doing a SportFi. We have fully incorporated company. We have the white paper and everything under the MiCA license. We are fully KYC team. So we are not anonymous. We are doing everything on the highest, let's say, Web2 industry standards because we are Europeans and we are developing quite well. We have the app live and we are aiming very, very high. So yeah, that's for the introduction.
Yeah, no, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate it, Martin. And we will, look, we talked about it. We're excited about this. Now there's been sort of these run to earn apps in the past, these move to earn apps in the past. How are you positioning this differently from those?
Understand. Do you know what? I was in the call, like, in the stream at the very beginning, like from the very beginning. And I would like to just, step back to some things you discussed because I really like the topic, about the ape, about the golf courses and meaning golf clubs. And just I liked something you really mentioned that, like both of you, I guess, that you are doing a lot of steps. You are just very active, not because of just, you would like to earn or anything like that, because you want to be healthy. You are just, caring about probably your well-being, or at least you are trying to care about your well-being and so on. And actually, just also partially answering your question, I would like to just mention a very important thing. With Runwago, we started to thinking about the idea of monetizing your running goals back in 2023. And exactly as you mentioned, like a few years ago, like with Step and Step App or these kind of apps, they were extremely popular. But they were popular to such extent that it was like extraordinary. They were even more popular than GameFi. And back then GameFi, it was like a super strong narrative. There were only one issue with that. And, that was about rewards and about sustainability. And that was like very, very like huge issue at the end. And basically at the end, this was the reason why these apps are not very just, popular right now. So basically we came with the idea of just, Runwago, a running app, just focusing on monetizing your running goals, like, giving you extra layer of motivation or reason to have a discipline to complete your goals or your running goals. And we came with an idea of 100% sustainable, just, concept, which is at the end, the missing element, what, apps like Steppen back then, they didn't have that. Because back then, the run to earn was very popular. That was very obvious. The reasons were also very obvious. But we came with the idea like, hey, we want to do it right. We want to do it big. And we want to do it also for Web2 people who, at the end of the day, they are not really just, skilled with MetaMask and all of these kind of things. So basically, the main differences between like Runwago and just, Steppen or these kind of apps, extremely popular back then, is 100% sustainable concept. We will definitely talk about this concept later. So I would just let it be like this right now. And yeah, that's it. We're here and we're going to launch. The app is live and everybody can just try and download.
Yeah, so
I
we
love it.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
Cap. No, you go ahead.
I've downloaded the app, and my biggest question is, do I have to run, or will walking qualify me?
Cool. I would just maybe just step in also to the concept. How did 100% sustainable concept work, and how these running challenges works, and then it will be very obvious if you can run or you can walk.
Sounds good.
Basically, at the moment, because the token is not live yet, you cannot to participate in any challenge. You will have the chance to participate 3 days after the TGE, meaning in 10 days from now. So we are really there. We dealt everything with Apple, App Store, Google Play, and everything. It's solved. So we are ready.
Congratulations. That I think is noteworthy. There's a lot of people don't understand or realize how challenging it can be to get on not just Google Play, but in particular the App Store. And respect for getting everything buttoned up and in live pre-launch.
To be honest, once we are talking about the App Store, so I will just finish that. It took us almost 9 months to get there. With the Google Play, it was a bit faster, but with Apple, it was a headache. It took us even longer just to do the Apple than have the official partnership and support from Garmin, Garmin watches and all of these kind of tracking devices. So we have official just backends to backend support with them. But with Apple, it was a headache. But we went through step by step, as usually Web2 companies are doing, and we are used to just have these long-term progress. So we made it. So thankfully, it's there. And that's the reason, actually, why we are having the TG right now. We didn't want to say, hey, coming soon. Hey, maybe in 6 months or something like that. No, we don't want to do this. We don't want to bring such things into Web3. We're just here with the token and with the working product, and everything is live. So that was one of the conditions we had at the very beginning. So but let's go back to the walking, because it's quite important to mention. In a near future, let's say 10 days or 9 days, you will see in the app itself that there will be multiple challenges for picking. So you will be picking a challenge based on your, let's say, skills. If you are a professional runner, you will maybe select hey, I will do 300 kilometers in next 4 weeks with tempo maximum, 4 minutes per kilometer or something like that. But then there will be also challenges for, let's say, beginners or really people who just want to take care about their health. They're not professionals. They just want to walk. They want to have extra motivation. So there will be challenges as well, saying hey, in next 4 weeks, you need to walk in total, let's say 30 kilometers with very slow pace, 15 minutes per kilometer. That's completely fine. So also for people who would like to walk and kind of monetize their just, walking goals, there will be a chance for them as well. But of course, rewards are expected to be way lower than, in the more difficult challenges.
You know what? I mean, you kind of alluded to it earlier. I don't even care. I have had, probably a half dozen different walking apps or step apps on my device. I don't know as if I've even got enough reward. I was late to step in. I take it back. I got a shoe airdrop to me for holding an ape and sold that thing for a few ETH. So I'm up big on walk to earn. But as far as actually using the apps, I don't know if I've even got a cheeseburger worth of rewards. But I don't care. I use it to track my steps, to track my health, to hold myself accountable. And it's just how many people out there have an Apple Watch and their whole thing every day, they just want to close their rings. They're not getting paid to do that. They're not getting outside rewards because they're staying active, but it's gamified. It's this concept of SportFi. Personally, would I love some rewards? Sure. But I don't, it's not my expectation. Make it a fun gamified experience, and I'll use the app. And down the road, if I get some rewards for doing what I'm already going to do and it helps me do more of it, awesome. I think the idea of tying such aggressive rewards that obviously have proved not to be sustainable, it's probably negatively impacting those other brands. And I don't know. I've not spoken to any of the teams there, but I'm guessing if they could do it again, they'd probably do it differently and not be so aggressive with the rewards from the jump. So I just want to say I agree with the concept that, yeah, rewards, TG is exciting, but at the end of the day, you got to have more than just that people want to use your app, want to download it and use it daily and activate it every time they walk. Otherwise, the rewards will run out at some point.
Exactly. Actually, I would like to step in at this part because exactly as you mentioned, at the end, you are not really supposed to care about the size of the reward. As I mentioned at the very beginning, we are really striving for excellence, and we are just doing every single project we do. We are starting with a discovery process, meaning that we are not keeping the idea for ourselves. We are going out. We are asking people. We are asking potential users. We are asking potential haters. We are asking potential regulators, and just going through all of these kind of things. And exactly as you mentioned, people are running because people they are already running because they love it. And this is actually a very huge difference, for example, compared to GameFi itself. Because the GameFi is fantastic idea. You will be just playing and you will be earning by playing. But at the end, you really need to just hit that sweet spot of the potential player. He needs to like it, just get just involved and do some tasks or anything. But with the running, you have extremely huge market of over 300 million active daily users who are running anyway. And as you mentioned, they're having multiple apps. And with, for example, we are supporting Garmin, we're supporting, of course, Apple Watch, we're supporting Wear OS, which is like, OS for Google devices. And by this, we're covering more than 92% of the market. So the users at the end, they do not even need to do anything new. They're already tracking their runs. They're already using these devices. And this is just Runwago giving them only the extra layer of motivation, saying like, hey, man, you just pick up the challenge and you really should to go out and just, keep moving because you are participating. You will always have that feeling that, it's keeping you most probably more motivated and disciplined. So that's basically why we came with the running mainly, and with, the sustainability in monetizing of your running goals. And once talking also about, because you mentioned already, the sustainability means that, of course, the monthly revenues or ROI from the runs is not like 1,000%, like, maybe back then with Steppen. No, it's not like that. It will be like, we're expecting, based on the research we have, the monthly, it can be like somewhere between like 8 to 15%, 8 to 16%. For Web3 people, it's not much, but we are targeting mainly also Web2 people. And for them, just go out and ask like Web2 people like, hey, can you imagine that you will be just with your deposit earning like 10% per month only because you are just completing your running goals? For them, it's like a magic. For majority of them, it's like a magic. And the majority, there is like 300 million people out there who are already running. We don't need to learn them new habits. So yeah, that's the reason why we're building Runwago. And that's where we are aiming.
So it seems like it's a real purpose-driven company in that sense that it's almost like you're taking something you love, you're taking something we love, and you are putting it in the hands of people. And one of the things you mentioned there, if you don't mind building a little bit, you talked about people outside of Web3. And by getting in the App Store and by doing this, how much do you see sort of that being almost a ticket to people understanding that? Because we talk about in the show all the time, people think crypto is just fake money that's not going anywhere. But what you're doing is you're actually giving people a reward for moving. So how much do you think maybe the average person is going to, this sort of gives them something to say, yeah, I try to close my rings. I try to use my Apple Watch or my Garmin. Oh, crypto isn't this big scammy thing. Like, how much do you feel like you're able to show people crypto has real benefits and applications?
Absolutely understand your question. Let me adjust it to clarify. At the moment, the app is supporting only the Runwago token. In upcoming weeks, we will be supporting also USDC, and we're still talking only about like Web3 people. This is where we started. The whole app, because of regulations, because of the technical aspects, to have all the proof of reserves. The backend of the app is driven by blockchain. For Web2 people, we are going to implement a fiat support, meaning that they will be just using only their Visa or MasterCard, and they will at the end have no clue that they are in a crypto, like originally crypto-oriented app. They don't know. They will not be buying Runwago token through their cards. They will be participating these running challenges with fiat, with US dollars or euros or anything else. And then, from that pool of rewards of people who failed, we will be collecting this money. We will definitely talk about it later. Then we are charging 25% as a company profit, and this will work as a revenue share token. And Runwago will work as a revenue share token because we will be giving part of the profits of the company to token holders. This is something where we are just, thinking about these things differently. We don't want to create an app giving rewards from some reserves of tokens. And once, this pack of tokens is empty, it's done. No, we're not going to this way. And we're also seeing a narrative, especially here in Europe, and I believe in States it's also very strong, of the RWA, real world assets. But we are going very realistically. We're not expecting that we will buy a building and then we will do a tokenization of that building. No, we're just tokenizing the revenues and just the profits of the company itself. So that's the way how we go. So in case of the Web2 people, in the go-to-market strategy we have the cars, stands, everything branded in Runwago. We are not even going to tell them hey, originally this is for Web3. It's from the Web2 perspective, it's going to be a running app, very easy to use and just very easy to participate in these challenges. For Web3 people, there is that extra layer that you can kind of accumulate the token as well for the future revenues, stable coin revenues. So that's it. This is in what we believe. We're not really believing in meme coins. We're just believing in real products for real people with fixing real needs, as just monetizing of the running activities is a great deal. And with real revenues for the token, because at the end, once you have a token without any revenue, people don't want it and the token will drop anyway. And then it's the end of the game, like Stepan or all of these kind of things.
So Martin, I love the approach. Kind of a tough question probably. I get it, but for that Web2 user, the app looks good from what I can tell. I mean, everything I've seen so far, it's smooth. The UI, the UX, the aesthetics, it looks good. How would you get them to what is for the Web2 user who's maybe not familiar with crypto and Web3? Why would they switch from something like the Under Armour app or MyFitnessPal or just the native Apple Watch app? Why would I want to use, if I'm a Web2 individual, I don't know anything about crypto, why would I want to use Runwago over what I'm using currently if I'm a Web2 normie?
Great question, actually. Maybe before I start answering, hey, do not be afraid to give me tough questions. I'm here to answer tough questions as well. And just, by feedback, only by just, tough feedback, we can move forward. So don't worry about it. Let's back to the question. Long story short, if you're, for example, using a Garmin device, you have that Garmin device, like watches, connected to your Garmin Connect, and you can export these data to multiple apps. For example, professional sport guys, they're using the Strava here in Europe massively, but they're exporting the data, from their tracking device to multiple apps. And this is actually where we are kind of feeling that where we are going. People will just still use the device for tracking their runs, but they will be just using multiple apps based on the purpose they want to achieve. And here we are bringing something monetizing your running goals and giving you extra layer of let's say motivation. So we're not really going to persuade them, telling them hey, stop using the Adidas running, start using our app. we don't need to do that because they are still exporting their data from, for example, Garmin to the app anyway, and they can export the data to both. So that's part of the answer. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, no, it does. Again, I get it. I just was curious in terms of that user, and I think that gets a good approach.
Okay, let me to finish. Here is the thing. You discussed, before the, things related to the ape community. I completely understand it. I'm not maybe so OG as you with, altcoins, but I mined my first Bitcoin in 2012 at university in UK, at dormitory, by the way. Free electricity, fantastic. Sold them a few years later. Anyway, being also involved in multiple Web2 companies, I'm seeing a very fantastic thing here and a great opportunity, what many Web3 people do not really understand. Out there in the Web2 world, getting a user who can bring a significant revenue to the product is like 10 times cheaper than bringing a Web3 user. Because in Web3, the narratives are, hey, we need to do 100x overnight. Hey, pay me like, I don't know, 1 Bitcoin and I will do some post, with a fake Twitter account with millions of viewers. These kind of things in Web2, they're working very differently. So basically with the same budget, you can onboard, at least 10x more users who are at the end going to just bring you the same revenue. And these kind of things, and that's very important, they're not going to happen overnight. That's for sure. That's the reason we are building the app from the end of 2023. Only just stepping to the App Store, it took us like over 6 months, even more, as I mentioned. But with the running apps, what we are building here, if you have a look on the track record of other running apps, we're not building the app for 1 year. Longevity of these apps are tremendous. We're talking about apps like Strava or Adidas Running, Runtastic, Nike Run. All of these apps has at least like 10 to 15 years, and they're doing great. And the retention rate of users there is a very good. They're still keeping with the app, and they have no problem to start using another one because they still can export their runs to multiple devices, and they do not need to left or leave their previous app. We tested that. It's a part of our go-to-market strategy. It works very well, and I can say that we are very happy that we are at this stage where we are going to just do some running events, showing the app, and having a great feedback on the UX, UI, and the idea itself. Because for Web2 people, it's like a magic.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I love this sort of thing. Like, it makes, again, to your point, Cap, makes sense for me, the way that we're moving anyway. And it just is an additive thing. It's sort of like we talk about a lot of times loyalty rewards being about getting rewarded for something you are already doing anyway. And I think in this instance, it is, I think it is us getting paid for something that you are getting rewarded for something you're already doing, which I really like. So love that. That said, I do want to talk before we go. I know we have a question from the audience. Before we go to that, I want to talk a little bit about your raise, because it's like, I just want people to be aware that, this isn't just a, this isn't just like a small thing. Like, this is a, you raised here. And so talk a little about the raise, what that was, and sort of how you raised, if you don't mind.
Definitely, no problem. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are not making this small. I'm a co-founder of Moon5 Labs. We already, in total, in our projects, in pre-sales and multiple activities with VCs and so on, in total, we raised around like $15 million US. We are not new to crypto. We are not new to Web3. We know how the marketing works. We are just attending all of the biggest events like Token 2049. We're going them like every single year, like for many years already. So we're not very, very new here. And this is very important. I would like to maybe to put an emphasis on. We're mainly Web3. So we know the industry. We know what to do. you mentioned the race. Yes, with the Runwago, we did a very small, from our perspective, a very small pre-sale worth 3.3 million approximately, onboarded like around 5K unique pre-sale participants. And the question how we did it, it's pretty simple at the end. Look, we are Europeans. I guess I'm not the native speaker, but I feel that you probably are. I guess that you are from States because of the time zone. Look, it's pretty simple. We are mainly here. We are engineers. I studied banking, accounting, and statistics. We like numbers, and we understand it also. Form of marketing, of course, you need to do all these kind of things, but we have numbers about KOLs and influencers because we are just tracking them from the very beginning, from the day one of our Web3 division exists. So we launched an influencer. We see that through his referral link came some amount of money and users, and we just and we decide, hey, he's good, he's not good. And day by day, week by week, year by year, you can build a fantastic amount of real, not fake influencers that at the end you have a capability to launch just not multi-million campaign, but let's say something with a way less budget, but extremely effective. You're not spending money on fake KOLs anymore. And this is something what we are doing from the very beginning. And this is how we basically raised our money. That was the first thing. We just put the campaign with the right people, just promoting the right project. That is the first thing. The second is that we are one of the biggest company in Web3 in the Central Europe right now. We're building multiple projects. We are building one of the biggest trading bots, in the market here, with all the compliances and just regulations and so on. So we have a huge Moon5 community here as well. Thousands in total. The Moon5 community, people participate in pre-sales and so on. We have over 20K, people being very close to us, watching what we do, how we do. And we have all of course, responsibility to them as well. So basically, as you mentioned with the Ape Club, we are kind of also carrying what people feel, and we are just, we're accepting the feedback. We're not saying hey, we are the best, like the, Ape founders, or I don't know who just, did some things. We're just listening, we are just collecting feedback, and we're building for real users and real people. And with such a community, I mean real community, I'm talking about 20,000 people in total who put their money into our products. And it was very simple at the end. We just announced, hey guys, we have a product here. We showed them the demo. Back then, it was not live on the App Store and Google Play, and they entered the pre-sale with, of course, potentially all risks. But they know us. They know that we will not scam them. They know that we deliver the product or do the best just to make things happen. And this is where we are right now. The product is on app stores. We're just building our go-to-market strategy, and we are pushing and pushing and pushing forward. And the people know it. So from that perspective, Runwago and the raise of 3.3 million, it was quite easy for us, to be honest. With another product, we, for example, raised 9 million. But the product is way, way bigger, and just, it's DeFi and so on. But with Runwago, yeah, we have very strong backing of the community, I have to say.
Well, I personally love the approach you're taking on socials. It's a mix of Runwago and upcoming TGE and running and health tips and a little bit of crypto education, whether it's DAO or it's a good mix of all things to where it wouldn't turn off a quote unquote normie per se, while also giving that Web3 community something beyond just TGE to look forward to and to engage with on social. So yeah, great start on the social front.
Well, thank you. We're really doing our best. Maybe here I would like to say to the people who are listening to us, if you check our socials, the biggest announcements are going to happen towards the TGEs incoming, because in Web3, the world is pretty simple. If we start announcing the best things right now, let's say 9 days or 8 days before the TGE or a week before the TGE, you have no call to action. So you're kind of wasting the potential. So definitely, I would like to recommend to everybody, follow us on our Twitter account, and just, the best things are coming including a small teaser, for example, augmented reality version, which we would like to launch the next year once the Meta and Google launch their augmented reality devices.
Love it. I saw Joey's here. Joey Vowles has his hand up and had a question. By the way, this is awesome. A lot of times we run interviews for a half hour, but like I am enjoying this conversation, so we'll keep it going and take questions from the audience, because I mean, this is like, again, like I am like, I mean, for your, you know, people who maybe aren't as familiar with my background, it's like I literally wrote a book on real world applications of blockchain, Web3 tokens. And this is one of those ones that makes a lot of sense. And I like when real applications and not just things that are only built for our sort of corner of the internet exist. So this is awesome. But Joey Vowles, go ahead and get in here. GM,
guys. So obviously, as a fitness person, I've been sitting in the audience and listening, and then some questions popped up in my head. And I guess I'll start with the most basic one. You're calling it SportFi, but right now it's only like running and walking, essentially, right? Like, because you keep mentioning Strava and all these other running apps. When I think of SportFi, I'm thinking pickleball, CrossFit, softball, tennis, golf. Like, is there a plan to incorporate? Because I'm going to be honest, I hate running. I don't run anymore. It's like, no, I'm not interested. So my fitness is CrossFit, weightlifting, softball, things like that. So by calling it SportFi, is there a plan moving into the future to incorporate other fitness activity?
Great question. Actually, thank you very much. I will go maybe even further than the SportFi itself, but I will answer your question. Don't worry. Very often, at the very beginning, once we started to just, let's say, inventing the narrative of the monetizing your running goals. Let's talk about running right now only. People were saying like, hey, the concept of sustainability and putting deposit into a pool and then just being rewarded from the reward pool, by money of people who failed, who just didn't finish the challenge, they loved it. And they said like, hey, let's go move forward. Let's start with drink to earn, or eat to earn, or sleep to earn, or these kind of things. And we said like, hey, these kind of things are great, but we need to stick, to something we are ready to just, validate if the activity really happened or not. By the way, you mentioned, for example, golf or CrossFit. Me, myself, at university, I played golf. I loved the game. Unfortunately, right now, I do not have a lot of time for that. CrossFit, I love CrossFit. It's great. But there is one huge problem with all of these activities. You cannot really track properly all activities, and you cannot activate some kind of anti-cheat system. And the anti-cheat system is something very important here. So I will start with that, and then I will back to your question. We are aware that, especially in Web3 and then in Web2, it will be happening as well. There will be a lot of people faking that activity, saying like, hey, they will be importing the runs from their PC, not from their devices, and so on. We have implemented tremendous amount of all security features and security tokens and encryptions and so on. We have an anti-cheat validation system we were building for 6 months and just testing every day with multiple testers and sports guys. And basically, this is the reason why at the moment we have only like walking and running, because there are enough devices and there are like, enough ways how to track and just really be sure that the activity happened. That's also the reason why, for example, there is another limitation. You cannot use the treadmill because treadmills, we cannot track the GPS as well as another piece to the tracking system and anti-cheat system. So back to your back to your question. We are still keeping at the moment only with running. And, talking about the SportFi, we're kind of saying like, hey, it's a SportFi revolution because we are starting with running. Potentially, maybe we will just open doors to other companies, start doing, I don't know, swim to earn or anything like, something else. But at the moment, we are saying the SportFi revolution because we're kind of simplifying the narrative also for Web2 people because they understand. If you say probably like, run to earn, to Web3 people, they're just start being doubtful about potential tokenomics, inflations, and so on. So we're saying like mainly like monetizing your running goals. But if you say run to earn to Web2 people, as I mentioned, it's like a magic for them. So yeah, thank you for the feedback. At the moment, I understand that you just, you don't like running. There are a lot of people like that, but still there are millions of them who just love it and who feels that, it's good for their health and they should start doing something like that. And yes, Runwago can give them another extra layer of motivation or way how to just be more disciplined. Maybe one more thing I would like to add. Joey, you mentioned that you don't like running. That's fine. It pains. It's painful. It hurts. It just you're sweating and all of these kind of things. Your elbows just it's not really activity what people are just doing with a big heart. But let's say people are doing that anyway because they feel that it's good for them and good for their health. They're feeling endorphins and so on. For your case, once you are in Web3, you can participate. You can just buy the token then later, because we will be introducing the revenue share token. Basically, Runwago is going to be a revenue share token, and just you will be kind of getting a profit from these people who are already running. That's your advantage being in Web3. Web2 people will most probably do not have that feeling, but there will be just filling reward pools, and these reward pools are going to fill the resources and the revenue share for token holders. So that can be your way how to participate as well.
Love it. Joey, we'll let you get back in here with one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So lots of questions about the anti-cheat and why no treadmills and all that stuff, but it's more importantly, the question I want to ask is, which is something very common in this space, is how does the token not go to zero, right? Like, so if you're constantly pumping out rewards, where does the value in holding the token, spending the token, like what can I do if I decide to become a runner again and I earn $5,000 worth of token? Like, what stops me from just dumping it for, BTC or ETH, and the token continually being, just being illiquid because everyone dumps it?
Got it. Maybe right now is the time to explain that, what means 100% sustainable concept, because this is very important here. Let's do it very simplified. I see that there are around 50 people. Let's imagine that we're in Web2. We're not just, making things complicated. Let's say that we have, all of us are going to do an agreement that we are going to participate the same challenge. Everybody is just, each of us are taking it $1,000 or $100, whatever, $1,000, putting it on a table. So meaning 50K is on a table. We picked a challenge and we put a deposit towards the challenge. We bet on ourselves. Then we have 4 weeks to complete the challenge. Let's say to run 100 kilometers. There are 50 people. Let's say that 40 of them, they complete their challenge, and 10 of them who put the deposit, they failed. People who failed, they're losing their deposits. Who completed the challenge, they're getting their $1,000 back. And we are getting extra money from people who failed. This is the only concept how you can do multiple things. First of all, be 100% sustainable. Second of all, you are just, keeping people motivated, because once they do a bet, they bet on themselves. They know that they did some commitment to the challenge, to the goals they set, and they need to do something extra, bit more. So they're being more and more motivated. So that's the reason of that the token will not go to zero, as for example with Stepan and so on. And talking about token going to zero, there is another thing. As I mentioned, there are 50 people, 10 of them failed, meaning 10K is on the table to be distributed among people who completed their challenge. We get 25% of this money of those money being on the table, meaning 2.5K, let's say. And we are just doing token these dollars were redistributing among of the token holders. Of course, like 50% of them, because the rest is for the company revenues. And that's the reason why you're not really just getting the tokens out of nowhere, because the tokens you get as a profit was bought and put there towards the challenge by somebody else, but he failed. And here is a great thing. You might be asking like, hey, so once the person fail, he will not come back and so on. We did quite a good research on that, first of all. And the second, since we are Web2 very oriented as well, we have implemented a hook model, a retention rate model. So let's start with the retention rate. If a person fail, let's do it in a simple way. Let's say that you are a smoker, that you are smoking cigarettes, and you bet with your friend that, for example, George, saying, hey, George, I'm betting $1,000 that I will stop smoking in next 4 weeks. If I will not stop, I will give you $1,000. Once, the 4 weeks are out and just you are still smoking, you are giving your friend $1,000. You're not angry with him. You're angry with yourself, even if. So you are not angry with the product itself, but you already did some commitment. And if you just, go through, the human behavior, very quickly we realize that people at the end are even increasing these bets. So you are going then just, giving the $1,000 to your friend saying like, hey, do you know what? I'm betting 2K right now because I believe that now I will make it. So that's the first thing we kind of like through the research and just, community testing, we realized. And the second thing is that we still need to give users some kind of feeling of commitment to the app anyway, if they fail. Meaning that we just, implemented a star mod. Long story short, once you're running, in the challenge, or you are running out of the challenge because you didn't pick any challenge, you're getting stars, meaning that you're building something in the app. For example, once you get, 10K stars, you will get a t-shirt or socks or anything. You're already building, your commitment to the app. So then you will come most probably back, and then you will just participate in the challenge again. So that's the reason why the token will not go to zero. And that's the reason why I previously talked also about the RWA, like real world assets. The app here, the company here is the real world assets. And at the end, the token is going to be a revenue share token. So you're kind of not speculating right now on the app, you're speculating on the future revenues, if the app will be successful with Web2 or not.
I mean,
so
I too am not a runner, but Joey, I will start running if if it means I can take your money.
Yeah, same. I will definitely get on the running train for sure.
I mean, you guys run. Don't pretend like you guys don't run.
I do not run. I literally am not.
You don't?
No, I've got a rod and 2 screws in my leg, and running hurts. I walk a ton. Like I'll put in 20,000 steps a day, but it's at brisk. I walk very fast, but it's not a running pace. No.
Do you do the speed walking where like
Yes.
you really pump your arms?
No, but I just walk fast.
So last question. I'm sorry. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the idea, the premise of people not selling their tokens is because the only way to earn more tokens is to essentially pay to enter a competition pool, and then if you complete that challenge pool, and if you complete that challenge, you win X percentage of the money that's pooled because from the people who didn't complete the challenge. That's
Exactly.
that's the idea of like why people wouldn't sell the token. Is there more like coming, or is that all it is right now?
At the moment, this is the main core idea. And exactly as you described, and I described with the example of 50 people putting their like $1,000 on the table, this is the main idea of sustainability. What's coming next? And that's a great question. We're not building, or we are seeing, as I mentioned already, that these running apps, they're very long term. They're so long term that in Web3 is like majority of very famous apps are just older than the Bitcoin itself. So we are just thinking to the future a lot. And we're saying and we're feeling that, Runwago should be something like, through advanced technologies, we're giving you ultimate emotions. So let's just move forward with the idea what else we are building here with Runwago. As you know, Apple did their Apple Vision Pro. We have two of them in company. We are already building augmented reality mode for running. Sure, with Apple Vision Pro, it's nonsense because the Apple Vision Pro is a device for developers, like for us. But if you just, you can check the Meta with Mark Zuckerberg. They're already developing their augmented reality glasses. They have a cooperation also with Oakley and with Ray-Ban. They're going to have augmented reality glasses. The same the Google is doing. They're already having their VR and AR division, and they're building these glasses as well. And what we are feeling here, that in the future, once you will want to have these wearable devices as augmented reality glasses, this will be great for running as well. And that's the reason why we are already preparing this. And I really encourage everything. Follow us on our Twitter, because in few days you will see some first images of how it looks. We did multiple runs in Europe, in Dubai, and basically everywhere around the world testing. So once people, they really love running. They're spending tons of money on gear, on watches, on clothes, on shoes. They have set of shoes to multiple environments, trail running, road, and so on. So we are thinking about this to the future, that we will give them also this augmented reality mode, meaning once it hurts, you're sweating, it hurts, you need to run. So let's entertain people. Back then it started with AirPods. I mean, with music in your ears. It was something it was a game changing for runners. Right now, it's very obvious. We are used to it. So we are not even considering it something very, very cool for running, because it's very normal for us. But with the augmented reality, we're planning that already. But we started developing it already a year ago. So we have a huge, huge advantage compared to other companies. So meaning that we are really building the company long term. We want to be very progressive, and we want to be your number one, technology running company. Once you really want to enjoy your runs and you want to have ultimate emotions, we want to be your number one app.
Awesome. Well, look, we appreciate you joining us this morning. I know we ran long, but this concept is cool. I know Cap and I are big into fitness. Joey's obviously big into fitness, big CrossFitter, and we're at the gym every day. We're walking, we're running, we're moving. I've gotten back into running this year. I set a goal to run 500 miles this year, which isn't a ton, but it's something that I'm trying to do. So something like this just makes a lot of sense. So look, thank you for joining us this morning. We very much appreciate it. And go follow Runwago. Go check it out. Definitely worth it. Appreciate you coming on for the sponsored interview. And we're grateful that there are people innovating and trying to build in the space. I love people who are testing new and different consumer applications, and this is most certainly one of them. So appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yeah, I pulled it up a little bit ago. I'm going to flash it again real quick. See, I'm not sure if everyone saw, but off to a pretty stellar start. Number one, at least in Europe, on the Apple App Store for top free sports apps. Congratulations on flying up the charts, and best wishes on staying up there.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe one last thing what I want to mention. The great thing here is that you mentioned that we are trending in number one in our country right now. You know what? Because we implemented a professional referral system, and people, even Web3 people from our community, they're not afraid to share with their Web2 friends, because it's it's something for well-being. People love it, and they're not afraid. They're, for example, not sharing their referrals to Bybit or Binance or something like that, because they still feel, hey, I might be considered weird as a gambler or something like that. But with these apps, we have extreme activity on referral system. So that's the reason why we're pushing so hard. And again, that's the reason why with Web2, it's way easier and still generating the same amount of money. So that was the last thing from me. Thank you very much, guys. It was a great energy. I really enjoyed, and have the nice rest of the day.
You as well. Thank you for joining us. And I agree wholeheartedly with the strategy. I think this is how we onboard. It's not, it's a mix of, yes, the education with the crypto components and some of the vocabulary, but that's not what's going to bring people here. It's certainly not. It's not what's going to get Steve and myself to refer other people to an app or a game. But you know what will? Something that we know they'll enjoy. It's like why we see a lot of people referring the Pudgy Party game to their friends who aren't in. I think of some of our daily, most loyal members of this community. They've got their significant others playing Pudgy Party because they're enjoying the game. And they while it does have crypto components and they're getting NFT skins, they don't know or necessarily care. It's whether it's Pudgy Party or a running app that if you have runners in your life like this, it's way easier to share something like this. Hey, check out this new running app. Let me know what you think, as opposed to attempting to bring someone on board, on chain, and they got to get a wallet set up. And FIFA Rivals is another one. I saw pop, and I think it was IMJ talking about it in the chat this morning. Like, if you have a soccer fan in your life, show them FIFA Rivals. Like, they'll probably enjoy the mobile game. Then later, when they do, and a week later, they ask you about, I just got this player card. Then you can educate them that it's an NFT and they can sell that thing in a marketplace. And I think this is, people talk so much in 21, 22 about onboarding the masses. And yes, there was a wave of people that came in for NFT PFPs, a lot of them because they thought they could make money on a flip. I think that time has passed us. And as we move forward, it's the people who aren't coming purely for financial speculation or this hyper financialized ecosystem. Is there something that you can build on chain that, or with a loyalty reward program that is simply better than the off chain competitors? And we're seeing that happen. And yeah, just salute to that, to where making it building a product to go compete with the Stravas of the world. That yes, there's on chain components, but that's not the lead, right? Like, will you get people who are here and your earliest supporters refer because they might get some extra bonus at TG? Sure. But it's easy to share something like this to the other runners and athletes in our lives, far easier than trying to get someone on Meteora to set up a liquidity, to start providing liquidity in a pool over there. That's hard. Like, people, like, that takes convincing. This is just, hey, you run, check this app out. It's very straightforward. So this is the way. And again, appreciate all your time this morning. Sorry for keeping you long, but appreciate you hanging out with us.
Right on. Good conversation. Really enjoyed the conversation. I know we have a couple more things we potentially want to hit on, Cap. I will say this. I know we have some just the code out there for people who are looking, op.xyz/claim, and it's going to be CWCOP in celebration of their new change. So CWCOP will get you done on the code. Man, I will. I'll tell you what too. There's a daily sort of. I don't know if I'll have to check with BAYC if he's still out there, because I think BAYC is a big Gigaverser. BAYC, was there an update to Gigaverse where I can no longer use the work? This is very specific, but no longer use the workbench and actually repair my gear, because it says Dungeon Tron 5000 or something is required. I have my ROM, so this game. This will be sort of. I'll make this point. I'll make this point here. One thing I'm worried about in Web3 gaming, Cap, that I saw with Pirate Nation. Yeah, it just happened this morning, BAYC, by the way. Like, literally, like, this morning it happened. One thing I've not like it worries me about Web3 gaming, when they overcomplicate things to a deep point where you can't get into the ecosystem anymore. We saw this with Zed Run. I think it might just be a problem with Abstract somehow, because it says my dungeon is level 0 again, which is very bizarre. Just strange. Maybe it's an issue within the app and they're doing an update. But it's like, if you overcomplicate things to a deep level, people stop playing Zed because of the overcomplication. I got frustrated with Pirate Nation at one point because of the overcomplication. Went to check in Gigaverse today. Maybe they're doing some updates, but suddenly, like, that's having some overcomplication. That worries me a little bit. So I don't know, just like a little bit of a rant, but it looks like it leveled me all the way back down, and I'll just double check in the Discord. I'm going to screenshot and double check in the Discord on that. Yeah, definitely worry there. When you overcomplicate games, things happen. But BAYC, let me know if when you go back, if it's an update and it's just my issue where it somehow leveled me down to level 0 when I connect my Abstract global wallet. I don't know. He said today they're doing the egg drop for ROMs. Maybe that's it. But yeah, it's certainly concern there if I can't play the game perfectly. Cap, anything else you wanted to hit on? I feel like there's a couple other items. I know we hit daily market update and a couple other things. I'll maybe do some LPing tomorrow. Any other things you want to hit on before we get out of here?
Yes. My apologies for the interruption there momentarily. It was not what Diablito suggested in the abstract chat. I jinxed myself earlier because I said my setup here is one for the ages and I need to do some moving around. I just got way too many cables and cords and not in my normal, I don't know what you call this. Just my normal battle station is not normal. And I bumped the phone over, hit the soundboard and played three different sound bites. The best one though, and I may have to play this for an outro, is the fantasy football intro outro song. It is the all-time great. And I'm guessing most people here have never heard that one, Steve.
Oh yeah. If you want to rip that was a good one. You want to rip it now or you want to wait?
Do we have a more you know today or no?
No more you know today. We will hit on it tomorrow. This morning was, I know you saw the Telegram chats and things, a little crazy in the morning, getting some stuff going and a little more crazy morning with the kids. So I will more you know tomorrow and Friday. We will double it up, but kind of a wacky.
Sounds perfect. So here's the alpha today. The big takeaway is make sure you, if you haven't already, go give Runwago account up top. Get that app downloaded, play around a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I can walk fast enough first before I start gambling any PvP challenges in there. But the other alpha is if you're still rocking polyester underwear, go buy some bamboo underwear today. And if you need a recommendation for which kind of bamboo underwear, Riggs is your guy. You need to hit up Riggs. He's got the best bamboo underwear for you. And we'll play. It's short, like 20, 30 seconds. And Steve, you can take us home.
Football dreams on the rise. With chain web, phonics, and cap, no surprise. We'll help you with picks, get you the win. To win now. Let the games begin.
It's coming through spotty, Cap. It's coming through spotty. Yeah, it's coming through spotty. And I don't want to.
That's a shame.
We'll have to get it fired up at some point when we have the soundboard set up because it is
it's directly on the soundboard. So now I'm wondering why it's spotty. But that's I'm not gonna mess with anything now because we've got things working as far as spaces and abstract and YouTube go. So I guess you'll have to tune into a football show someday if you want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a great one. And so are you guys firing that back up then? Are we getting more football?
Probably gonna do a Sunday morning show. It's a kind of a busy month. Last week was still hectic and TBD. I'd like to do one during football season. I just don't want to start it and then take a Sunday off. So I'm a weirdo when it comes to consistency. And if I do it, I want to be able to do it every Sunday. And long story short, I may start it after I get back from St. Croix here later this month. And then as I say that, I'm probably not going to want to do one at Ape Fest next month. So I don't know. TBD, maybe.
The song is electric. It was like my favorite thing. I love the song. I laughed every time. It was so funny. I played it for Dawn when you first put it out there. It was unbelievable. Obviously, created on whatever the AI app I use for songs is. I forget what it's called.
Udio?
Yeah, Udio. A little Udio special.
Mesh. I personally would not be bringing bamboo underwear on chain. However, I'm a betting man. I'll put some money on the line that I think our guy Von Frunten, who I believe just ordered some bamboo underwear today, I think there's a high probability we will see Vonga bamboo underwear in the future. And I will, if that happens, I will get rid of all my remaining cotton underwear, which these are also the recent addition. So some Calvin Klein cottons. They're okay, but 100% cotton is not nearly as comfortable as the bamboo. So but it's healthier than polyester. So, and I'm probably most likely like 99% out of the kid making mode, but you never know. I've not shut that door completely. I've not sniffed anything. So if it were to happen, or if I would accidentally slide one past the goalie, I would like the child to be healthy as possible. So it's all cotton or bamboo for me. But if we get Vonga bamboo underwear, I'll donate all my cotton underwear to Goodwill and swap it all out for fresh new Vonga bamboo underwear.
Yeah, I'll be very much researching in these streets. I'm going to be looking at what Lululemon's made out of. I'm going to be looking at the bamboos. I will not go back
for 10 years. Not surprised. BAPIC's early to many things. Not surprised he was early to the bamboo underwear. Says no plastic in this house. You got to do it. It's a no-brainer. He says also David Archie bamboo. That's new one for me, but I will go check that out as well.
Yeah, I need to do some research on this because again, I have not heard I've heard of with the microplastic issue. I don't know, but I literally wear Lululemon pants, shirts, socks, underwear, everything all the time. So
I think it's a matter of time before you see probably Lululemon go to bamboo, if I were to guess.
I would guess as well if there's issues that are coming out and people are having that conversation.
I really want to show. I'll show at least this is what BAPIC just recommended. David Archie. I really like to show what Riggs recommended, but I'm just gonna have to save it for Riggs. So if you really like to know Riggs' recommendation for bamboo underwear, you need to DM Riggs today.
Yeah, you need to DM Riggs to get his reco. Cap has got shirtless dudes and cat belly button shots. If that's what you're looking for today on Coffee with Captain, we got you covered. Interesting conversation to say the least. A little bit of a hot rant to start the show. Talked a little bit about various topics, whether it was the ApeCoin conversation, Project Raid, CyberKongs, just for the people in the chat asking, Chris Voigt, no, we were not able to claim. I went to the site, it said I wasn't eligible, then it said I was eligible and I had to post, then I posted, and then it said all claims were taken. My claim would have been about $67 at time. It's probably a little bit less than that now with people selling. So no harm, no foul. But I will say, fact of the matter is today we had a claim with a site tech issue that then sold out. And I was initially upset about not getting my $67. We are so back. We are in a bull market, whether people want to say so or not, because whenever something like that happens, it means we are in a bull. So
do you happen to remember the code for Monday, the 8th?
No, but I can double check real quick while we're there. So for people looking today, so codes, if people are looking for them, following codes, Monday the 8th was CWC 70 for the points Ohio State scored. So if you go to op.xyz/claim, CWC 70 for Monday. Tuesday was CWC 99, and then today is CWC OP. So
Perfect.
OP.
There you go, buckle up if you're still out there. I also just commented to your question. Appreciate that. And you got a lot of people going commando too, Steve. I am not sure that's my journey.
When you go commando, people know you're commando, and it's not, especially when you wear comfortable clothes. And anyway, so
I like wearing linen shorts in Florida, and I don't think commando is.
Yeah, exactly my point.
With linen shorts.
Yeah, there is a lot of no comment, but it will say yes and no. Look, that's it. Let's send everybody off in the
on this topic.
What's that?
I think there was a great Seinfeld episode on this topic, however.
I wouldn't know because I only watch comedies on those sorts of at those times, so wouldn't be super familiar with Seinfeld.
JT says commando in harem pants is the win. I don't even know what that is, but Googling this as well. My Amazon search is wrecked this morning thanks to Riggs. So if you do DM him for that recommendation, you might want to do so via incognito browser.
Yeah. Let's send everyone off the other day. By the way, Joey, I see Joey saying he missed the 9.5 claim. Joey, go buy it on secondary. Let's send everybody off on their day. Appreciate everybody who came through this morning. We will talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.